Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I'm kind of calling it on the last episode that I did where I was challenging my haters to be more creative. And that's the thing that I sat down and I started thinking of. It was actually like right after recording that episode, my haters aren't capable of being creative. And I'm gonna overall explain it, but the thing is this though, like if like before I guess like getting into explaining them as quote unquote content creators, let's take a look at a lot of different content creators and content that has blown up over the years. Even some creators that do the same line of content that they do, commentary content. Because there's creators that I've seen that does commentary content over the years from like creators from back then. Creators, I guess, that, they kind of had like a little wave of commentary content. And, probably some content creators today that's like, that they're starting to blow up and things with the commentary content. Because that is one content that it's funny, like, I never really paid attention to it as much as I did, like, other content, like gaming videos, comedy skits, stuff like that. Because I guess, like, when it came down to commentary content at the time being, this is how I was thinking. I'm not saying I think like this now because I do have a commentary channel myself, but no, I just looked at it as like, okay, we're having a conversation about something that we most likely we're gonna agree on whatever the conversation is. So if it's talking about, so for an example, that content creator that just recently started trending with a streamer, she was like abusing her dog on a live stream. It was crazy. Like I that's a video I don't like. If you are a pet person, I would highly recommend not to watch that video, because you can actually, you don't see nothing, but you can hear the dog like crying and screaming and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty dark. It takes a lot for me to be disturbed by content. That content was pretty disturbing. But overall, though, that was the point that I was trying to make with the commentary content, is that people would talk about that creator, and we all knew that we were going to, like, say about her, like, we all knew what we were, like, all thinking and stuff. So, yeah, it was, I never really had sat down and watched that much commentary content. I had to say I didn't really start kind of getting into it maybe until 2015, because I know there was, like, creators like Leafy is here. Wouldn't he count as a commentary channel? But, yeah, I remember I was kind of watching him for a little bit. There might have been some other ones that I was watching, but for the most part, yeah, I didn't really, I guess, like, I kind of in a way did commentary content, but it was more, I don't know, I didn't really look at it as commentary content. It's kind of like what I do now when it comes down to commentary content. Like, I'll just find a topic and then, just kind of give out my opinion or my thoughts on it and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, even when it came down to commentary content, it's like all the different creators that I've seen over the years, I'm like, man, the videos are entertaining, and then when I seen a video about me, and yeah, and it was last year when reacting to a lot of different videos, or not, no, all of the videos that the racist pedophile did on me and stuff. And I think I did watch some other videos in between. It didn't have like that same feel of, like, they put some creativity in this. Like they had like some comedy and jokes that was laughable. Like it was kind of like that scene in Joker when Arthur, he went up on stage and he was trying to get his little stand-up comedy thing going on. And it didn't work. Nobody, they wasn't really laughing at his jokes. They were just more so laughing at how weird he was. And that's how I honestly felt when I sat down and watched the video about me, because I'm like, fam, it's not creative. And I guess people can call me a hypocrite, because like I'm pretty much doing the same thing when it comes down to doing content on them and stuff. But I had to say, I guess, like, I don't know, the difference between them making a video on me and me making a video on them, I always counted what I did as a response. Like, I never really had went out of my way to, I guess, like, the times where I did go out of my way to make, well, no, because I have to say, like, the one and only time I can really sit down and think where I went out of my way and like made like went sat down, made a video, collected up evidence and all that, I feel like I had a pretty compelling argument and stuff. Like, no, it was when the racist pedophile, when I had called him a pedophile. And then, yeah, he was going to make a video on me. So that, I had to say that was the one and only time where I had, like, went out and made a video against them. And I felt like it was a pretty good video. I don't know, maybe I'm just tooting my own horn when I say that. But at the same time, I'm like, I guess if it came down to anything else, there wasn't nothing else to talk on. Like, that's what I mean by them not being creative people, because when you look at their channel, like, let's even just talk on my I can't really call him the latest hater, but the latest person to hate on me. He does AI content, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't pay, because I feel like he has to be a kid, some of the content that he posts. But when you look at a lot of different content creators and they're like, you know, I get not even just content creators, but just people in this universal conversation that they have with AI. Now, I don't have a problem with AI. I don't have a problem with AI videos. I don't have a problem with Chat GPT. I don't have a problem with what is Microsoft Copilot, their AI software. I don't have a problem with AI. But there are a lot of people out there that don't like AI. Now, what sense does that make to have a whole channel based off of AI in this day and age, where YouTube, I guess maybe, I don't know, because I know that there is that one AI software, Sora, where it's kind of like TikTok, but it's AI. Everything is AI. Like, there's not one, I can't really say original, but there's not like a real video on that platform. Everything is AI. Like I said, it's AI TikTok. So maybe that's welcome, you know. But YouTube, I guess how I've always looked at YouTube has always been about broadcasting yourself. Like, that's, and I remember, like, that's what they used to have underneath their banner, like on that top left corner of their website, the YouTube icon. They used to have broadcast yourself underneath it. And I think probably, yeah, over the time they probably realized that there's a lot of different content creators that aren't broadcasting themselves. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take that out. I still to this day don't know why they took that away, but anyways, but I just feel like that when it came down, you know, to any other form of content, like whether it was, yeah, like commentary or gaming, like content where you don't have to reveal your face and, you know, really showcase who you are and stuff, like you could just kind of remain anonymous. I feel like that's still more welcome, because you still see content creators doing that today. Like, look at the one guy, H2O Delirious. Is there one person that can genuinely say that they seen who we have a better chance of figuring out who Batman is than we do H2O Delirious? All right, because yeah, it's one of those things. That man, he's remained anonymous his whole career, but that's the thing though, he's an entertaining content creator. So it's like, I guess, like, if that's what they'll try to, you know, my haters, they'll try to say, like, oh, I remain anonymous because I just want to, you know, keep the pizzazz on my channel. Fam, there's a lot of different content creators out there that remain anonymous, and they're still entertaining and creative content creators. What's your guys' excuse? You know, like, that's what I would like to sit down and figure out. And it's funny because I really want this to stick with them. I want this to stick with them just like how they still to this day bring up subscribers and views. Like, no, I want this to stick with them about them not being creative content creators, because every hater that I've dealt with over the years, you know, like from the first hater all the way to the last hater, they have never been creative. And it's, you know, and there's I remember the very first person that I had ever got into it with on YouTube, where it was like he was a content creator, but he was having to promote himself. I don't think he does content anymore. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I remember me and him, we did squash our beef, but it was still one of those things though, where it's like, why would somebody, instead of going over, because it was about the guy CJ So Cool, and at the time he did a breakup prank with his now his ex-wife Royalty. I like, that's still something that trips me out. I was like, I guess like I hadn't really watched them that much, so hearing that they got a divorce, I was like, dang, bro, that's crazy. But anyways, but no, they did this prank where they was like, it was a breakup prank where they was pranking the fans and stuff. He's all in there in his CJ So Cool's comment section talking about, oh, I made a video about the breakup prank. I made a video. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't like when people do that. Like, I don't like when people, because that's just, it's kind of like an unwritten rule of content creating. You don't go to other people's platforms and start promoting yourself. Because I know people have tried that with me. They'll come to my platform promoting themselves like, oh, I made a video similar to, delete. I'm like, oh, I made a video, delete. Oh, I'm a streamer, you like, delete. I'm not seeing or hearing any of that. Like, no, you are not going to come to my platform and start promoting yourself. The comment will get deleted. So it's like, if somebody like, oh, please don't delete the comment, but I'm a small content, delete. I don't care about none of that. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess like my question to those type of people is, how would you feel if somebody was doing that, wasn't commenting to overall. Hold on for a second, because I just got the, okay, I just wanted to make sure that wrestling was coming on at a decent time today, because I know they was over in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if they still are in Saudi Arabia, but I got to thinking about that, got a little side distracted. We back now, all right? But no, overall though, it's like, how'd that make you feel if somebody, every time they would comment underneath your video, they were only commenting to just promote themselves, or they'll leave some like backhanded compliment, or not compliment, but comment talking about, oh, nice video, but anyways, check me out. No, delete. I'm not checking out your channel, and nobody else in my comments is going to check out your channel, because the comment will get deleted. Okay, so yeah, I'm like, if it's one of those things where if you promote yourself on your own platform, then yeah, sure. But but other than that, but overall though, the point that I was trying to make was that guy wasn't being creative. It's like you're sitting around, you're talking about two people breaking up. We can learn from the two people themselves on whatever they broke up for. Like, we can learn it from the people themselves. Why do we need, I guess, I don't know, like, if you want to look at yourself like as a TMZ figure and all that, but I was like, that guy wasn't doing that. He just was trying to milk views out of the situation. That might not be something that he would want to admit, but overall, like, that's, like, here's the thing. I've been at the time being, I was a content creator for 5 years. So I had like a understanding of what content creating was like. I had an understanding of what people would do for views. And the terminology has changed over the years and stuff. Like, originally, yeah, it was like, oh, you're using this guy for views. Now it's like, yeah, you're just milking the situation and stuff. So, but overall, though, that's what he was doing back then. And back then's terminology, he was using CJ So Cool. He overall just wanted to gain some views off of his situation. It's one of those things where I'm like, fam, I'm not with that. I guess it wasn't my place to call the guy out for that, but at the same time, I'm like, man, make your own way. Be creative to the point where it's like, okay, like, I can be proud of whatever it is that I'm doing. Because I know people will probably try to call me out and say like, oh, you do these reaction videos. Okay, if I were to take down every single reaction video, there's still a lot of different content that I have up, whether it's me achievement hunting in video games, whether it's me testing out, like if it's those like mod supported games, like there's this one racing game called Distance where it was like people would create tracks in there, and then yeah, I would race on a lot of different tracks in that game. So from that, I remember, I don't think there was a whole lot of people doing Ingram openings with Destiny, so I had to say, yeah, I was one of the few creators, if not probably the only creator that was doing it. There might be some credit, I ain't gonna take credit for that, but from that, what else, then yeah, just even having channels based off of certain video games. Like I have a channel based off of the one video game, No Man's Sky. Then on top of that, I was building ships left and right in that game. Then I also have a channel for the one racing game, Forza. So that's why I'm like, when they try to challenge my creativeness, I'm like, fam, that's one thing about it. I guess anybody that sits down and takes the time to try to challenge me with my creativeness, I'm like, fam, I write stories, I make music, even outside of like YouTube stuff, but those are like two things that I have been doing since before I became a content creator. Like there is the one, and it always trips me out how there was the one music program, and it was you would think like, okay, any and everywhere, a music program is always going to be welcome. It's more so going to be used on like a PC if you got like FL Studios and stuff, or if you one of them old fashioned people and you got a music studio where you got all these different instruments and all this other stuff. I was making music off of a PSP. Like and it's still one of those things I sit down and I think about. I'm like, dang, man, like that was that was a thing. Like, I don't know if I'll probably still be able to, if I guess, I don't know, because I remember I'd still have a PSP. It's just that the battery on it had busted, so I would try to, I guess, like, if I were to well, no, actually, they did say that Beta Raider, it was going to, allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, but they did say that they were going to add that program onto Grand Theft Auto 6. So yeah, I guess when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, I think I might end up doing that, because I'm like creating a channel based off of Grand Theft Auto, and then just kind of just doing a bunch of different things, because yeah, it's like with the amount of I'm still doing content off of Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm like, but yeah, when the game's been out for over 10 years, of course you're gonna have a lot of different content off of Grand Theft Auto 5. But no, even I remember doing videos. So there was at a point in time where, because I don't think there was nobody else that was doing this form of content back then, but I remember there was at a point in time where people were doing those, remember those like patch glitches that people were doing every time GTA come out with a patch update? Everybody always come out with like some sort of glitch that was added with the pitch. So pretty much, so this is how the videos would go, if I still remember how these videos went. But no, so the people would start off the videos and they were like, all right, so I found this new this new glitch in the Grand Theft Auto that could get you $10,000 every 5 minutes. So first things first, you're gonna want to do, you want to go over to this location, steal this bicycle, drive it back to your garage, and then do like, yeah, some like duplicate like glitch with the game where it's like, so before you drive into your garage, rapidly click the A button a bunch of different times. Next thing you know, you have 10 different bikes in your garage, and you can sell them and make $10,000. And it's like, bro, why not just, that's why I like the game so much now, because they have it set up where you got you can actually have like a full-time job in that game. No, I was a forklift driver, a pizza delivery guy. What else did I do? I delivered some I don't know if it was stolen goods or what, but I did get shot at for that. I was a firefighter. They probably gonna add some more jobs into that game. And it's funny, it's like you can now have a full-time job and make more money than you did when you was a criminal in that game. That's the weird thing about Grand Theft Auto right now. But anyways, overall though, if the funny thing is that if somebody were to challenge me with a video game and just be like, hey, you got to do creative content with this video game, yeah, sure. I'm like, so what? It can be games like Elden Ring. It could be games like what else? Fallout. It could be another racing game like Gran Turismo. Give me a video game, fam. I guarantee and I promise you I can make 100 videos out of that video game right then and there. Whether if it's like the videos are the same kind, like if it's some engram opening stuff or exploring around, but I could do 100 videos, like 50 full-length videos and then 50 YouTube shorts or TikToks or, Instagram reels. That's when people, when they try to call me out and make it seem like that I'm not a good content creator, and it's like, no, you're saying that because of your experience with me. But when we sit down and we look at each other's content and we look at how many people the funny thing is, and that you'll never see that with them. I don't know why T-Mobile, they just sent me a thing talking about I could get me a free screen protector. I don't know. I guess if you're with T-Mobile, you could get you a free screen protector right now. But anyways, but when you look at the individuals that made videos about me over the years, you never seen people in there. Yeah, maybe they're fans, but you never seen, I guess, creators that did similar content in their comment sections, congratulating them on their success or saying how much they love their videos. You never seen that. I don't think there is probably ever a time where even the main racist pedophile himself, because the two guys I think he was that he highly liked when it came to content creating was I Hate Everything's and Grade A Under A. Now, maybe there might have been a video that I didn't. I should go and check and see, but I really don't feel like going to his channel. It's peaceful not being on his channel. It's like a dark cloud that comes over me when I go to his channel. He might have some comments, I don't know, but it's one of those things where it's like, who's going to remember that? Who's going to talk about that? And it might have just been a charity case where it's like, oh, they just felt bad for how bad your content is, and they were like, yeah, let's just comment. He at least tried. Let's just give him A for effort, but A for, I guess, being creative, no. It's one of those, and that's the thing where it's like when you look at a lot of different haters out there, they have to wait until some stuff goes down to make content out of people. And I know people will try to, like, some of the friends that I made, while getting in, well, not really getting into it, but kind of having fun with the racist pedophile situation last year. But no, there was a lot of different creators that I could say that, maybe I'm not going to say like we the best of friends, but yeah, it's definitely somebody where I'm like, nah, they cool, but just sitting down and watching their content, like K-Huck for an example, or the Op Block, or I'm trying to think of some other creators that came from that, but just overall though, like the people that I've met in that, just in that line of content creating, I can say that they're creative people. I think it was even, what's the one, because I think that was like I think she was one of the people that was being stalked by the racist pedophile at VidCon. But I remember she did a video, and that was, to me, I don't know if she was like active. I don't think she was like actively doing the drawing while talking about that situation. But yeah, so my thing is this though, even if she did record the drawing part first and then did the commentary afterwards, still, she's showcasing her creativeness. K-Huck and everybody else from that, they showcase their creativeness. What's your guys' deal? And even just talking on like some other haters, like let's just talk on the hater that after the first hater that was talking about CJ So Cool, Minnesota Boy. That was the next person I got into it with. Well, actually, no, I take that back. There was that Glenn kid. But he was, that kid, he just had issues. He had problems. So I don't know, like he was a hater, but he was just weird and stuff. But even I guess with him, he wasn't an honorable mention, or dishonorable mention. He wasn't creative either. Like he was just, it pretty much, it took people having to do content about him just in order for him to make content. So I'm like, but yeah, when you stop making content, because no, it was funny. I remember I stopped making videos on him, just focused on myself. I was like, there's bigger and better things to be worried about. And overall though, he disappeared, and that's when he went and got all involved with the Thomas the Tank. He pretty much joined the Thomas the Tank Engine gang on YouTube, and guy got jumped in and all that stuff. But anyways, no, let's talk on Minnesota Boy. So, and with him, it confuses me because he actually was a creative content creator. That's one thing that I will say about Minnesota Boy. And not to get you guys confused, there was another YouTuber named Minnesota Burns. That was the guy that did that Call of Duty trolling video. Minnesota Boy, completely different person. I know, I guess for my OG YouTube watchers and stuff, no, it's like completely different person. No, Minnesota, because Minnesota Burns, he was white, right? I think he wasn't black, but Minnesota Boy, he was black, blacker than me, and was trying to make, not even like blacker, mentally blacker, no, physically like that. The thing is this, turn off a light, you might be able to partially see me. Gone. He's seriously on some like Batman disappearing in the shadows type business black. So that was his situation and stuff. But anyways, now that's been put to the side. But no, overall though, he was an extremely creative content creator. He would do Call of Duty montage videos, but he would also freestyle and rap and stuff. Now I ain't gonna say he was a Grammy Award winning rapper, but overall though, that takes talent. That's something that I'm I can't even say that I could do that myself. So to see him do that, I remember after the situation between me and Minnesota Boy popped off, people were telling me that he was an extremely good content creator. They don't know what happened to him. So I decided to do some investigating, because I'm like, okay, let me see. Oh, okay, he got this Call of Duty music video. Let's see what this is. I watched that video and I was so confused, because I'm like, how did this man go from being a creative content creator with, I think people were saying he had almost 80, or he either had almost, either exactly, or over 80,000 subscribers. He was just in that range of subscribers. How do you have a growing channel with good content, and then out of nowhere you decide to do a video talking about your hatred towards white people? And what's so crazy about that is that I genuinely don't think that he hated white people, because I remember it was a bunch of videos getting put out of him, he was in the same area as white people, he was shaking hands with white people, he never had a problem with white people when it came to some face-to-face situation, but when it came down to the internet, that's when he had a problem with the white people. And that's what was so confusing, because I'm like, Fam, white people ain't did nothing to you. Yeah, there's that 12-year-old kid that trolled you in a video game. So what? Do you know how many? My thing is this. It just to even talk on that myself, it's like, do you know how many times throughout the years where I done had racist comments being left underneath my channels, like on a regular? Like, it's one of those things where people say, oh, no, it's just a rare occasion. No, it's not a rare occasion. I'm not over-exaggerating and all that. I'll have to say, I'm trying to think. Last month, what was the comment that I got last month? Because it's February now. I'm trying to think. Oh, well, okay, so yeah, with those like YouTube shorts, I know that there's been times where people, they'll if it has something to do with black people, they'll make some old racist. They won't outright call me the N-word or any. I have to say, it hasn't been that long since I've been called the N-word and stuff, but overall though, no, yeah, because it was, and it's funny, I know a lot of people be like, well, what was the last time you got called the N-word? The last time I remember, it was from one of the racist pedophile fans. So it's funny how, like, I know some of them will probably be listening to this all like, oh, it was probably some random person. Nope, one of you guys. So anyways, but yeah, I was thinking that with Minnesota Boy was like, this man was such a talented content creator. What happened? And I feel like that for some people, content creating is just not for them. And that's the thing. Like, he was so good at it, but it wasn't for him. You know, like, and that's the sad reality of some content creators. Like, I don't know, maybe he got burnt out and he just didn't really know what to do when it came to content creating no more. And it's like, okay, if you are getting burnt out with content creation, take a break. Here's the thing, like, I know people, they'll probably say that with me and be all like, you never take no breaks, like, you upload all the time, every day, and all that other stuff. Yes, I do that in things, but there's some days where I'm like, nah, I guess I don't record as much as other days. Like, yeah, I guess, like, there's some days where I might record, like, well over 10 videos. Then there might be a day where I'm like, I already got some videos saved up. I'm probably just gonna record a couple of videos today. You know, like, I really don't, I need to just kind of rest. I need to take me. But that's the thing, though, where I guess, like, with me, I mentally prepare myself for content creating. And if I'm not mentally prepared, then I'm like, I probably will take a break. I probably would, just kind of, but it's like a little minor, break. It ain't like no major, like, I'm gone for months type breaking things. But overall, though, like, no, it's like, if you do get burnt out, though, it's okay to take breaks. And that was his issue. He didn't want to take no breaks. So overall, yeah, he ended up, pretty much, in today's terminology, he crashed out. And he did this video on why but that was the thing, though. I felt like that when you look at Minnesota Boy, that it seemed like that it took other, I don't know, maybe there might have been some content creators that did that, because I'll say this much, he was good at what he did. I just don't know if he was the original person to ever do, like, Call of Duty rapping videos and all that stuff. There probably was some other content creators that did that. He was decent at what he did and stuff. So, but overall, though, it's like, yeah, he just out of nowhere decided that, well, it wasn't no out of nowhere. So at the time being, that was the like style of videos that were trending, where you would talk to a certain group of people. So there was the one that did, I think, I don't know if she was the starter of it, but she definitely was the one that got more fame out of it. But there was this content creator named Nicole Arbor, and she did this video where it was like Dear Fat People. That was actually the name of the video, Dear Fat People. And the whole video, she's just saying all these disrespectful things to people of size. And it was definitely a video where I'm like, I don't know what she was thinking. You would think that I would have done something like that, because I think she was like in her late 20s, early 30s when she did that video. Fam, I was a teenager when I had got into content creating, so like I was like, maybe. Because, yeah, I was 13 when I had created my my main channel and stuff. Actually, I was still 13. Yeah, I was still 13 when I had created. Because I actually did have another channel called TMossBoss, but I made the dumb mistake of deleting the email to that. So I don't think, back then, they didn't have, like, no recovery email thing. No, when you deleted an email, you could no longer sign in to YouTube and stuff. So, yeah, that channel, it disappeared. Like, they ended up, because at that time YouTube was on the business where if a channel hasn't had no content uploaded to it for years, that it'll get taken down and stuff. So I don't know, maybe if I look hard enough, because I don't think there ain't no way possible for that channel to still be active and things. I think that back then they took it down, because I actually know, I do remember I looked it up and it was gone. So anyways, but yeah, I was 13 years old when I very first got into content creating. I never decided to do no video where I was all like, oh, dear white people, dear fat people, dear anorexic people. It's like, fam, the thing is this. I was a little bit smarter than that when it came to content creating. So yeah, when she did that video, I seen she was on, what's that one talk show with Whoopi Goldberg? I think it was that one day. I think it was either that show or it might have been another one of those like morning talk shows and stuff. But she was on that show and they were going off on her. Because I have to say that was like one of the first few times I seen a YouTuber be on TV and stuff. And so there might have been some YouTubers back then that was on TV. I think Tyrone Magnus, he actually had like a news segment where he was talking about how he quit his job to be a content creator and stuff. But it was like, that was like one of those like feel good stories. Nicole Arbor wasn't no feel good story. They were going off on her. And I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever seen nobody get that much hate before. But overall, though, she was getting hated on. And it was definitely one of those things where I'm like, nah, it's one thing to hate on a person for no reason. I felt like people had a legitimate reason to hate on her, because there's probably some people, they might have like a condition, because I know I be watching that one TV show, My 600-Pound Life, a lot, and I know that a lot of those people be talking about like they like something tragic happened in their life to it caused them to have an eating disorder, and then next thing you know, they about 600-700 pounds and stuff. That show is crazy. I'm like, they be having some stuff on that show where I'm like, man, that's wild. But anyways, I'm like, and the thing is this, she doesn't strike me as an individual that sits around and watches that show, but I'm like, it's still just one of those things where it's like, you don't speak on people and you don't even know their backstory, what they got going on and all this other stuff. So that's why I'm like, that's why when it comes down to me doing content creating and stuff, there's content that I can upload where I'm like, at least my thing is this, if I don't know the backstory, then I'm like, okay, then I have that self-control not to say anything disrespectful about them and stuff. So that's why I'm like, man, it trips me out when I see creators when they do that, and it's like, what's that? And that's the thing. They'll say that that's creative, and I'm like, no, that's just being disrespectful. There ain't no such thing as like, oh, I can put people down and then and call it creativity. No, there ain't nothing creative about that. So that's why she was in the situation that she was in, but overall, that's where Minnesota Boy, he got the idea of doing his Dear White People video, but decided to just turn it into a racist rant. He did, I guess, for people that probably all like, whatever happened to that guy, he did try to come back and make it seem like that whole situation was a social experiment. But it's like, fam, I don't get why you would do that and then mess your channel up. You should have told us that was a social experiment years ago. You gonna wait until 10 years later where nobody don't know you, nobody ain't looking for your content. Now all of a sudden you want to call it a social experiment. Nah, you said what you said and you meant it too, because there were other occasions where he'd said and did some things where I'm like, I don't think you were doing that as no social experiment. Like, he got into it with the one guy, Blasphemous HD, and I'm like, that definitely wasn't no social experiment. The stuff that he said something about his, I think it was like his mom getting sick and hoping that she died or something like that. And I'm like, you don't say no things like that and call it a social experiment. He said something about crazy about Blasphemous HD's mom. Or it was either about Blasphemous HD. I'll have to go back and check just to make sure of it and stuff. But yeah, I was like, man, there is no way possible that was a social experiment. But yeah, I was like, but he, at one point in time, he was a creative content creator, but I think it just, he got burnt out. And you even see his content now where it's, hold on for a second, let me just, because I think his channel, let's just see real quick. Because he did link his new channel on his old channel and stuff. Excuse me. He was trying to, I guess, like make a comeback to YouTube and stuff. But there's like the truth about Minnesota Boy and his videos right now. So he uploaded a trailer to, I guess, talking on scams. maybe some of this is music. I don't know. A lot of his videos just don't seem like that they have like a reason to be on YouTube and stuff. No disrespect, but I'm just saying like it's just you're seeing him now, and I'm like, maybe he had somebody helping him with his content back then and they're no longer helping him. But no, the funny thing is, the reason why I say that is because when you look at the racist pedophile, the one that I was getting into it with, you seen how at one point in time everybody was helping him out with content. He had people helping him with his script. He had people helping him out with the editing. He had people helping him out with his thumbnails, titles, descriptions, tags, content creating name. What else? Channels or organization. He had people helping him out with every aspect of his channel. He could never do anything on his own. And then all of a sudden you look up and you see he got canceled because he said some things, and he decided he thought it'd be a good idea to defend the pedophile, but I felt like that on top of that, there was a lot of other things that built up to where people, they just overall, they wasn't rocking with his content no more, because they was like, nah, you're toxic, you got issues, you got problems. But you see now with his struggle with content, it was funny because I remember he tried to get on me, or he tried to downplay me doing short videos or blowing up off of YouTube shorts. And so, for those that don't know, pretty much every year since 2024, I've been killing it when it comes to voiceover content and stuff. So, I started doing voiceover content, blowing up off of that. And he tried to downplay it and then was all like, YouTube shorts, that's not gonna last. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I just got a video this year that reached over 1 million views. Hold on for a second. Let me check my YouTube short situation. Let's just see. I'm positive there was a video I uploaded this year and it had over 1 million views. Maybe. Oh, okay, there it goes. Yeah, so I was like, it was actually a video. This guy, he thought it would be a wise idea. I don't know who his girlfriend was, but she definitely grew up with brothers. But no, he tried to like smack a phone out of her hand, and she smacked him and sent it. I had to say, I think that was the first time I seen somebody get smacked into next week. Like, no, it was she smacked them hard. And it was one of those things where I'm like, fam, it was a smack. It wasn't even like it was a punch. And she sent you to the ground. Like, that's sad, bro. That's sad. But anyways, did the voiceover to that video. Got 1.3 million views. Let's just see if there was any other videos I uploaded where it got over 1 million views. For the most part, everything really be staying, kind of in the thousands range and stuff. Like, there's a lot of different videos I uploaded. Where there was a video I uploaded. Actually, no, that video got taken down. I think it was some fake channel or something like that where they gave me a copyright strike and things. So I was like, you know what? I ain't even tripping about it. I'm like, whether it is their video or not their video things, because you looked at their channel, it's like I don't know, maybe it was their video, but they had like a lot of content on that channel to where I'm like, so all of a sudden you're now, it looks like in some I ain't gonna say a third world country and things, but the content, it looked like one of those like meme accounts and stuff. So I don't know, maybe they did travel out somewhere and recorded 2 kids playing off of it wasn't even like a whole PlayStation 2 and stuff. It was like the insides of a PlayStation 2. But anyways, regardless of that and stuff. But no, before that video had got taken down, it was like the first video I uploaded of the year, and it got over 63,000 views. So my thing is this, but even when you look at some of my most viewed content, we even just sit down, we talk about some of my content from my reaction videos, because I ain't had reaction videos blow up, I ain't had music blow up, I ain't had voiceover videos blow up, I ain't had meme videos blow up, gaming videos, podcast episodes. I'm trying to think what else. TikToks, Instagram Reels. I've had like pretty much content. Even like there been times where honorable mention tweets. I didn't had tweets go viral. And there was I remember there was one time on Twitter. I don't know, like because it was like this trend that was going on where it would be like, oh, such and such party is over. So like, the TMossBoss party is over, or the Donald Trump party is over, or whatever. But overall though, I remember that was a trend that was going on Twitter. And I remember I was all like, oh, I had just a bunch of different jokes and stuff just lined up for that trend. Fam, I was blowing up off of that. Like it was, and then there was a tweet that I just recently posted where no, so that's what it was that somebody had found a picture in Grand Theft Auto of the main character Franklin when he was a kid. Fam, his head was huge. Let's just say that he definitely stretched out some t-shirts, if that is an accurate picture and it ain't edited or nothing. But overall though, it reminded me of those episodes of the George Lopez show where they show when him and his friends when they were kids, and then they had like a kid body but an adult head and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you seen where their heads was all big, but that's what it reminded me of. So I made a joke out of that. Fam, I think the tweet got quite a few different likes. I don't know if it was 4,000 likes. It might have been less. I don't know. But overall, though, no, yeah, it was the tweet. It did get a lot of likes. It was getting a lot of attention. Like, every time when I did open up Twitter, and it's like still, there might be from time to time where somebody would like that tweet. And I'm like, dang, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, it was, it was funny. I ain't trying to downplay what I'm doing, but dang, I'm like, y'all really into the content. But it overall, just throughout the years, seeing how many times I blew up off of a video, blew up off of a tweet, whatever the case is, whatever the platform is and all that stuff, it really showcases my creative side when it comes to content creating. And then when I see these guys where it's like, dude, that's one thing that they can't say is that they have an original video or just whatever. It ain't even gotta be an original video. It could be just overall, they ain't got not one videos on their channels where it has over 1 million views. Because the main guy of the whole situation, the main racist pedophile guy, he ain't got a video with over 1 million views. And then, no, that's what I was saying was that with the shorts, like, he was trying to, downplay me doing shorts, turned around and started doing shorts himself. And so I found that funny. So it's like, that's the thing where it's like, they gotta wait for stuff to go viral, and then that's when they want to sit around and start doing it themselves. That's why, like, with this AI kid, he had to wait for AI to be a thing, because nobody didn't know who, they still to this day don't know who he is. But overall though, it's like, yeah, they ain't gonna know who he is, where it's like, you're using a bunch of, he even tried to do that, take credit for a video that he didn't even, because there was a AI video of, whatchamacallit, the Avengers movie that's coming out, Doomsday. There is an AI trailer that was going around where people thought it was the real, because they made it, whoever they did it did that video, they made it look like it was real, and he pretty much is doing the same thing that one kid, or not kid, because I think he was older than me, but there was that one guy that used to edit videos for the racist pedophile, Joshua, where I remember he was doing that. He was just re-uploading people's videos and stuff. So I think that's overall what this guy is doing. He's just re-uploading videos, because it's like, yeah, you don't have that creative bone in you to like come up with original content and stuff. Your definition of original content is some content that nobody is not gonna watch. Like, even prior, before doing this video, I remember going to his channel and looking, and I'm like, man, and that's the thing, it's that same feeling every time when I go to any of these guys' channels and I see, and I'm like, you guys have the platform to go viral, whatever form of content that you want to upload, but you want to upload content where it's like, fam, it's not creative. They don't have it in them to be creative, okay? Like, if I can just keep it a buck with you guys, they do not have it in them to be creative. They can't do, and over the years, just, like, that's the one thing that I've always have gotten on them about. And it just seemed like that it always just got overlooked. But no, that's what the conversation is always going to be when they talk about, I guess, like, my time going at it with haters and stuff. I'm like, hey, but that's one thing that I can say, I'm more creative than them. I can actually sit down and do a bunch of different forms of content. I don't have to wait for nobody. And the funny thing is that it shows on my channels. It's like, I don't have to wait for nobody to do no form of content in order to do it myself. I'm like, my thing is this, and if there is a line of content that does blow up, I guess, like, reaction videos and stuff. But the thing is this, though, because I know people, they'll probably be like, oh, you a hypocrite. It's all like, nah, yeah, you say you ain't have to wait for nobody, but it's like, as soon as reaction videos started blowing up, fam, because I think the first reaction, I started not before everybody else, but I did start doing reaction videos before, because it was one of those like shock videos, and so but I think I ended up taking that video down. I forgot that I did one of those videos, but I took it down because I was like, I don't even want to even see my reaction to that stuff. But no, yeah, there was like a lot of different content. I guess like when it came down to reaction videos, I don't do the same videos that everybody else does, you know. So like if everybody's reacting to the what else, or what form of, like, let's say it's a movie trailer or something, it's a movie that's like really popular, everybody's gonna go see it and all that stuff, while everybody's reacting to that, yeah, I might check it out. But overall, I'm doing body cam videos. I guess I take things to another level when it comes down to being a content creator, you know. So I'm not gonna say that I'm more of a hardworking content creator than the peers around me and stuff, but I will say that I am a pretty hardworking content creator, you know. So yeah, it's like people, they could say whatever, they could do whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like you can't take that away from me from being a creative content creator and overall being a hardworking content creator. Because I ain't never seen you guys do no voiceover video that gets millions of views. I ain't never seen you guys do no song that gets thousands of views. I ain't never seen you guys do a video that got over 1 million views. So it's like, my thing is this: before you start calling me out on stuff, take a good look in the mirror and realize, dang, like everything he said in that podcast episode, he was right. I'm not creative. I don't have it in me to be creative. It's like, and then the only thing that they're going to do, I guess, like after this podcast episode gets released, they probably are going to try to oh, I'm going to put it to the test. I am going to be creative. I'm going to work on music. They're not going to know where to start. They're going to be like, well, do I download this program? Do I download this? Do I go to Guitar Center? Do I what could I possibly do? They're either going to do that or do what this AI kid is doing, where he's just going to most likely find a song that nobody ain't never heard of, download it, publish it on his channel, and then make it seem like he did a song. And it's like, fam, it don't work like that. No, I'm saying you actually have to download the program, compile up a bunch of sounds together to make a song. Don't just download a song you heard somewhere and it's like, oh, nobody ain't listening to that song, I'm gonna just claim it for myself. That's not being a creative thief. I'm like, I guess like that's what you can call yourselves. But other than that, it's like, yeah, when it comes down to being a creative content creator, being original, being a content creator, because the funny thing is, if, like I said, let's just say they the content like reaction videos and stuff like that, where it involves other people's content and things, I'm like, take it down. The thing is this: I still have thousands of videos, and then just even thousands of videos that I haven't even uploaded yet, we're still gonna showcase my creativeness. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I when it comes down to those guys questioning me, I'm like, that's, like I said, that's gonna be the conversation from here on out. At least I'm more creative than you guys. Let's see you actually come up with a creative video, because if not, fam, I ain't hearing nothing that y'all. I've never heard what you guys had to say about me, but I'm definitely not gonna be. I'm having to hear nothing that you guys have to say. Y'all ain't even creative. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.